I think we're live. We're live.
We are live, I believe. Yes.
Yes.
We'll see.
We'll see. It was like the shortest, like skipped all the intro stuff. We're running 6 minutes behind starting due to technical difficulties. Yeah. Literally just clicked the buttons as fast as humanly possible to get us going.
Yes,
so
exactly.
We're live now, for better or for worse. Technical difficulties include, we're going to be doing some live debugging for today's demo because the setup didn't work. Yes. So I'm sure it's a me problem. Like I'm really sure it's a me problem, but I had 20 minutes to work on this at the end of the day. So I'm okay with it being a me problem. Right. Hi.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello,
hi,
everyone.
That's
right. Hello. We're back. We're back for the first time. And last time for the year, after a bit of a break, I went on vacation, and then I came back from vacation with the flu. So we didn't stream when we were supposed to. And then I had 2 weeks of work to catch up on instead of 1 week to catch up
exactly. On. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been a really weird December for me as well. You know, coming back to Red Hat and like in a new and also a brand new role. So it's kind of like I'm like, oh, that's right, we're supposed to stream, and you're like, I am sick as a dog. I'm like, well, I could definitely use this hour because I need to catch up on some things as well.
No, that was so bad. It was so bad. I haven't had influenza in like 20 years, and I caught it, and I had a fever for 4 days. My fever was 102 degrees Fahrenheit. Someone smarter than me do that conversion to centigrade. After fever reducers. And I was dying, right? Oddly, my husband and children did not get sick. Not even a little bit sick from me. But no, so it was terrible. I've never been so out of it. And
you almost sound upset about that fact. You almost sound upset. You're like, if I'm gonna be sick, others should be as well.
Right? I just feel like, I mean, I got sick when I was on vacation. So like my children were sharing a bed with me.
Yeah.
And they got their dad's monstrous immune system. Obviously, yeah. I swear, I get man colds, right? Like the stereotypical man cold. That's me. That's me as a person.
Oh, okay. You're like, what was me? This is death.
This is death, right? I'm dying. The biggest baby. My husband gets sick maybe once a year, and it's like a light sniffle, and he powers through it. I don't understand why he has this Herculean immune system, like Gandalf the Grey, you shall not pass, like whatever pop culture reference you want, right? He does not get sick, and my kids are taking after him, which is great because that means I get to be the baby, and I never have to make
it's a good trade-off, right? It's better than having two babies versus just one.
Yeah. It's true. Right. So why are we here today? Right. We're here to look at the external operator. And this is just really a timely episode. I wanted to kind of end the year with security because I'm in compliance land and security training land, which I have to do every year around this time. And I figure lots of people have to do that every year around this time. So that's a great way for us to just kind of end the year. That said, the demo isn't working.
Which is great. Which is great. I think some people like it when it's not working. Live debugging, as we say, right? So yeah, it is very timely because just in my new role here at Red Hat, I'm actually focusing more on the security side of GitOps. And so it's very, very, very topical, right? Let's work on the security secrets operator. There's many opinions on this too, as well. And I think the external secrets operator is kind of like a good compromise, I want to say, between, because it's because if you are, and I'm going to shamelessly plug my book, if you read my book Path to GitOps, right, I kind of talk over secrets, and kind of there's really two methods that kind of surfaced up that are popular. Is you either encrypt the secret and store it in Git, or you store a reference to the secret in Git, right? So that's kind of the idea of sealed secrets, which I think we talked about way earlier in the beginning of this stream. And then we have secret reference, kind of like what we talked about. I think I had Rosemary from HashiCorp talk about Vault, right? And those are kind of the two that bubbled up. There's another one where it's you can mount a drive mounts a volume or
A
like
sidecar method.
yeah. So, but I think the two big ones are like either store the secret encrypted or store the secret reference. And I think external secrets falls under the reference part of it. Um, on that part of that. But I think what makes the external secrets operator great is that you can connect it to different KMSs, right, or different backends. So I think that's like the power in it, right? I'd really that's the reason I really like it. I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts are there about that.
Yes, in theory, based on all of the reading, sounds great.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
On paper, it sounds great.
It sounds great. So we actually do the secret reference model in a lot of the service delivery managed products. I'm actually going to just pull up here the documentation, which I've also linked in the chat for everybody. And that kind of talks about this. But I also found this great blog here. So the external secrets operator, before it was an operator, was Kubernetes external secrets, right? And this is actually the engineering blog from GoDaddy in 2019 about why they ended up developing that. And so here we are now, like more than 3 years later, and it's evolved into it's an operator and it's beyond that. But I really liked, and they talked a little bit about kind of similar themes, what you were talking about, of like the challenges of managing secrets with Git, keeping things, you actually titled the episode that you were referencing earlier, "Keeping Git a Secret," right? That's back in the playlist history 2 years ago, I guess.
We call it the Chris Short era, but yeah, back in the Chris Short era.
In the Chris Short era. So this blog that they posted about it is, I thought it was really good. I read through it, and obviously we know like this is out of date. Their examples don't really work anymore because it's probably just like a pathing issue, and you can change this GoDaddy here to Kubernetes, and maybe it would work. I don't actually know, but because this is now, I don't know if it's an official like Kubernetes project. I think it is. It's a Linux Foundation product.
Yeah, I think it is in the CNCF. I think it is. I'll research that while you're talking.
Slack channel, but so do some other things that are not official projects. So I didn't actually go through that deep into the history of the thing. Anyway, so one of the things I wanted to
it is so sorry to interrupt, but it is a sandbox project. So it is a CNCF sandbox project.
Perfect. Now we know. Was it this one? Yes, Flux CD. Okay. I didn't get anywhere into setting this up, although I did put Flux on our cluster in case I got there. But getting back to GitOps, right? They actually have my everything is cold. That's why I'm like bundled up. For those of you who don't know, my office is in a basement and it's an ice box. So when it's summer, it's an ice box. When it's winter, it's like a triple ice box. And so like you see me like slowly covering my hands. It's because I turned off my space heater for noise reasons, and now I'm going to die of exposure in the next 30 minutes. I might have mentioned that I'm a baby and I like to whine. It's still true.
Yes.
So anyway, right. So they actually talk through in their documentation, combining the two things with Flux CD rather, and the external secrets operator, using the Helm installation method and customize and so forth. And like I said, I didn't even get here. I tried. I really did. It's probably a great feature I should use more is the do not disturb settings on my laptop so that Slack doesn't interrupt me. But yes. That's what happened to my attempts at setting up this demo in terms of time management. Right. So anyway, future reading, I will link it in the language is failing me. Everything's shutting down. Core dump is occurring. Chat in the chat, and that should propagate out to the various channels people are watching the stream from. Right. Anyway, so they have this nice little fake as a secrets provider, which is what we're going to use for this demo. They also have
like the a fake driver, right? Like kind of like make sure it's working the way it's supposed to. Sort of cool.
Yep. Except for that, this is the part that's not working. But anyway,
Okay.
I'm sure it's a me problem. I'm sure it's a me problem. Right. So they actually have all of these other integrations, though. I almost set up a 1Password account just for this, and then I was like, no, because I do have a 1Password account. I'm very tempted to try this on my own, but yeah. I don't feel like managing, making sure you all don't see like the keys or anything that would be required to set it up. So we didn't.
Well, what's really cool is that it provides, like, it's kind of like I was mentioning before, is it provides, it's kind of an abstraction, right? It's like it doesn't actually do anything with secrets other than like know how to talk to these different back ends. So if you're in a multi-tenant system, it's very, I think that is when it's very powerful, because it's like, it happens, different teams use different methods to store their secrets, right? Like, the shadow IT doesn't go away, right? So I think that's
multi-tenancy.
Yes, multi-tenancy, exactly. Yeah. So that's really
I had read this last night, remembered it was in the docs somewhere. So while you were talking, I'm like clicking around, I'm like, they have that. They talk about it. The docs are actually quite thorough in terms of example. So like decoding strategies, multi-tenancy, multiple secrets, templating. So that was there's a lot in here. There's a lot in here to go through and get the thing. And somewhere, I forget which page it was, one of their pages, they were saying testing wanted. So
yeah,
looking for something to do in open source. They were looking for some help with testing. And here's your how to get involved right there. Yeah, where was that testing wanted sign? Somewhere. It was somewhere. Anywho, we're gonna go over to our cluster. Let's do
our, right? Like literally our cluster, because I think I spun it up and I gave it to you. So it's like,
yep. You clicked the buttons and then saw when credentials existed. So what did I do here, right? So I went to the Operator Hub on the OpenShift cluster, as one does.
Oh, can you do a Control Plus a little bit, make it a little bigger? There we go. Perfect. Sweet.
Somebody I work with has some special add-on that allows them to automatically like enlarge what they're looking at on somebody else's screen, so they don't have to ask for that. And I already forgot the name.
Oh, okay.
Right. External Secrets Operator, right? This is actually a level 4 operator.
Wow.
Yeah, I was impressed. It is a level 4 operator, which is very cool. So here's some more information about that. And then we can actually view the operator on cluster here, which is just in the installed operators. This is weird for me because I never use the OpenShift UI.
Yeah. I fumble. I fumble in the OpenShift UI only because not because it's like, this is no knock on the UX folks, because I just fumble on it because like I'm literally on the command line like all the time.
Yeah.
That's my forte.
It just yeah, exactly. I'm always on the command line doing the things there. Of course now I'm not even I don't know if you noticed, I'm not even on call anymore, right?
Oh.
Yeah. Nice. I think I spend I'm what they call leadership, which means that I spend all of my job in Google Slides at this point, and Jira. That's like 99% of what I do is Google Docs, Google Slides, and Jira. So it's like I'm like, ooh, I'm getting rusty here. I gotta do something about that. So anyway, so I followed we're gonna go back to the thing I was following so that I have it handy. That was not it. Really, if I could remember where things were, my life would be better. We're just gonna search fake at this point. I'm not trying to navigate these docs. There we go. Not to say the docs aren't fantastic. I just not trying to remember where I found the things. Right. So this was the guide that I was following. Basically, it's create a secret store, create a secret reference, and then it should actually make the thing, right? But that part wasn't working for me. And so I actually have it. If we go, so I've got the external secret here, which I made 2 copies of it in case there was something I had done. And I actually did put it in the Flux namespace. And then have the secret store, which I could have also, like, literally right before this call, I put one in the Flux namespace. I don't know why it's not there. We'll just edit it. Maybe that's my problem. Anyway. Literally just copy pasted from their thing. Oh, you know what? This is going to get mad at me if I try to change the YAML here, isn't it? Because it's managed by something else. Let's just do another one. Hang on.
Holding.
It's one of those things. Maybe that one wouldn't have gotten mad at me, but every now and again, again, I'm not good at the UI. I never remember when somebody's going to get mad at me. So yes. Oh, create that. We're going to name it this. That looks good. Oh, I know what I did. Don't trust me to copy paste, folks.
No, yeah.
This is I did this twice this morning, right?
Yeah.
Cluster secret store and secret store are not the same thing. And
no.
Oh my God, please stop popping up and trying to be helpful.
Yeah.
Christian, why won't it stop popping up and trying to be helpful?
Yes, there you go.
Right.
That's
okay.
Like on a tangent, like I've been using Copilot with GitHub Copilot, right? And it's like sometimes, and it kind of messes with my autocomplete, like VS Code's autocomplete, because like I like most people rely on the autocomplete. Like I'll just like tab my way through something, but then Copilot like recommends something, and then I tab it, and it's like the wrong thing. Like, no, I didn't want that. Stop helping me. Stop helping me.
No, in VS Code, I turned off all of the Golang editions. I think I talked to you about this because it kept breaking my workflow. Because you know, I'm old enough to be of that generation of I lost my progress on a Word doc one time because I didn't save it every 5 seconds. Yes. And now I habitually save anything every 5 seconds, right? So yes. I, you know, brand new file. First thing you do, right, on any new code file is all of your imports, right? Cool. Yes. Done. Save. And then it just deleted any unused references. And it's like, yeah, because I haven't written them yet. Stop helping me. So I sat there and argued with that for like, I don't know, 30 minutes or something. And then I just turned the entire feature set off because I was like, stop helping. You're not helpful. And that by the time I was done with that, then I forgot what I was supposed to be coding. No, I didn't. But it really felt like it sometimes. Right. So basically, according to their guide here, getting, you know, back on track, according to their guide here, you put these two things together and it should give you the secret. And that is where it wasn't working for me, or it wasn't appearing to work for me. What am I looking for? I'm looking for workloads, secrets, Flux system. Yes. So it's not there. And I feel like this is definitely a me problem because I tried to skip to the end and just do something very fast so we could see it work. But I don't know what I did wrong. So that's where that lives. And I tried this a few times. That's why there's like 5 different places where the names exist. So the next thing I wanted to do, because when I don't know what I did wrong, the obvious solution is to check logs. The next thing I need to do is actually look at the operator. Here's a fun one. Where's the operator pod running?
That's work. I think it should be. This is almost like an exercise in using this UI. Actually, workloads. Yeah, I would say like under workloads, but like you have to know.
But you have to know the project, and it's not in. Well, hang on. I want to say it wasn't in the thing, but maybe it is in the thing. So if we go to pods, right? Not Flux system. We need OpenShift dash
operators.
Yeah. There it is. So here's the controller manager, which let me see, must be the thing. Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
I think also. Oh, there you got it. Yeah. All right.
Well, yeah. So, but this is where I went before. There's nothing here. Nothing since startup. So, yeah.
I have access to this cluster. Maybe I'll back in this here. Get pods.
This is something dumb because I don't use operators
logs.
like this for a while. Let me see. Running.
And external secrets. I think controller manager. It just okay. Interesting. Oh, I think you need to. Okay, you installed the operator, right?
Yeah, I think there's a config problem. Probably.
Yeah. Or I think you need to. So like, I think there's a CRD for it, like OC API something resources. There we go. And then grep for grep for. How about that? Oh, okay. Yeah, because you created a cluster external secrets, right? That's how you do that.
Nope, that didn't tell me what I wanted to know.
Oh, resource found. Yeah.
This is like it's a config problem. It's a me problem. It's a how do I use this problem. It's a I tried to get this done in 20 minutes problem. Whatever kind of want a problem you want to call it, right? So the operator config. Might be my problem.
Maybe. Create, there we go. Create operator config. There you go. Sample. Namespace. We don't know. Question mark. External secrets operator. I'm also I'm looking at the docs here too. Oh, also.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it didn't tell me to do it, so I didn't do it. There's really nothing here that should. Well, let's keep going. Maybe there is something.
Like good and bad in the doc page. I just searched for OpenShift, and then like it just literally sends me to a video. So
so let's watch this. Okay. Hang on. Look at that little handy message in there.
Oh yeah. Oh, here we go.
So I think that really is just the problem was the config.
It is an operator config. So I'll Slack it to you. Slack it to me. Where are you?
Can you tell I'm super used to using all the managed operators that do all this stuff and I never have to touch it?
Yeah. Operators of operators, right? So there's yes.
Yeah,
so
operators, exactly.
So I'll put it in the chat here. The operator hub has a sample operator config,
Magic. This is the thing. I thought this might have been the thing, but I didn't have time to look into it before we had to start. So
Yeah. Well, this is good, right? It's kind of like the stuff people are gonna have to do anyway, so it's good to see it live. We'll do it live.
We're doing it live. I basically was like, this is gonna be the messiest, lousiest demo. Like last time I was on the command line or on a cluster was August. I'm basically brand new now.
Yeah.
My brand new. What is my job? I don't know. Okay, so okay, that's basically the one that shipped with it, and I just kind of, or the sample, and I just kind of approved it. And you can copy and paste the exact one to see if it makes a difference, but I don't think it will. What am I looking at? Events.
Yes, events. Yes. If you do
there we go. There's
there
stuff
it is.
Here now.
Yes. All right, we figured it out.
So now here's the real question. Is my secret there now?
Ooh. Let's look. You can also hide. I know you can hide the OpenShift.
Look, they're there.
There it is. Secret to be created. There it is.
See, like I said, it was a me problem. I did the thing where I tried to skip to the end very quickly. Don't do that. It doesn't work.
Yeah. It helps if you follow the directions in the order they're given to you.
It helps you follow directions. Also, truthfully, I went straight to their documentation, which didn't outline this instead of the operator hub.io documentation, which does outline this. That's like a little note. Remind me to contribute back to their documentation, referencing these instructions from the other instructions. That would have saved me a lot of.
Yeah. So if you can kind of just see, like, so you had, like, there's basically a request, and then kind of like a like persistent volume, right? Like you have a request for a secret, and then that secret gets generated by that, right? So I see that foo and bar.
Yep.
So how does that? I was gonna ask, how does that request look like again?
Yeah.
So like now that we figured it out, yeah, let's circle back. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's actually go back to those things, right? So it creates those installed operators, right? The CRDs, right? We needed. So you have to create, and these are like cluster scoped, right? Because I made this a cluster. You can have it cluster scoped, so you can have cluster secrets, or these are namespace or project scoped secrets, right? So
that's really cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. Anything that, so the thing, okay, let's talk about security and compliance, which is why we're here. Okay.
That was your life for the past however many, right?
You have no idea how bad it is right now. Anyway, so yeah, the security and compliance is hours and hours of time, and then I have additional security and compliance considerations I'm worried about for like day-to-day stuff too. Here's the thing, right? And if you've heard me talk ever, I stole this phrase from somebody else and I use it all the time. Most amount of actions, least amount of access. So this operator is running on like elevated permissions. So it technically has like more permissions, not than kubeadmin, which is how I'm logged in right now, but more permissions than the average, person on cluster or entity on cluster might have. So the fact that you can have this cluster scoped secrets and like it's working on that kind of a cluster scope is great, because that allows you to automate things at significant impact, and also protect that level of permissions and abstract it away from the people who need to be able to basically do things that would interact on that scope, right? So you don't want people to be able to necessarily see secrets, but you need them to be able to reference secrets in their own, like have an application expect certain secrets and have this ship those secrets to that application. But they don't need to, even if it's a cluster secret, they don't need to actually have access themselves to the cluster secrets to get what they need. They just need to be able to know the reference. And then this takes care of that access level. So this gives people only exactly as much as they need to do the job, or the automation only as much as it needs to accomplish the task. So when I was installing this operator, I actually had the option to install it at a cluster scope or at a namespace scope. And so I decided to install it at the cluster scope because, yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, so the fact that there's both, I love that. It's so nice. It just keeps the role-based access clean, gives people what they need without giving them things they don't need. Anyway, so this is what the secret store was, right? So this is the, if we go back to the, I don't want to describe it better than they describe it because I can't. They had a really great, was it the overview? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Secret store, right? Resource separate concerns of authentication access to the actual secret, configuration needed for workloads. The external secret specifies what to fetch. The secret store specifies how to access. And so this resource is namespace, right? So it's the secret store. There's the external secret. Cluster secret store, global cluster-wide secret store that can be referenced from all namespaces. You can use it to provide a centralized gateway to your secret provider. So this basically, like I was saying, it creates that one global reference that gives everything what it needs in order to be successful without giving them all access to that like last final. It's a security abstraction layer. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do this. It's a good model. That's basically like the TLDR. Do this. That's good. It's good.
Yeah, and especially like since like in your world, right, where it's like security, least privilege, right? Like doing these managed services. This is kind of like, you know, breath of fresh air, kind of like, or like yes, finally someone gets like it's like SRE life, right, on how to manage this at scale with multi-tenants, right? Like because you're managing, yeah, lots of stuff.
Yeah, there are things. So when you're operating software for somebody else, right? For somebody else, you're operating the software, and oh man, one of the DEs I work with, he just like had this really great chart the other day about like showing like how like own, like, you know, you have to own the experience for that, right? You own the experience. So there's a balance to be struck between owning the experience for the users and also not touching their data, right? And not seeing their data. But also conversely, right? We're operating software for customers and that software lives on their clusters. They own the clusters. Now we're also operating software for customers that lives on Red Hat owned clusters and they're a tenant. But there's also the reverse is true where we're operating software that lives on their clusters and they may have tenants within that. So when you're doing that, right, you want to basically keep all of the considerations completely separate. So it's almost, I'm gonna coin a term here. It's like a shadow tenancy, right?
Interesting.
Where
yeah, I like that.
The Red Hat things that we need, the kinds and pieces and the minutia that we need in order to deliver a good software product like as a service, we need to be able to abstract them out away from the customer themselves so that we can't create then like an injection point back into the rest of the systems for everybody else, right? So these types of practices and things like that enable multi-tenancy and enable tenancy in ways that go beyond somewhat traditional, as a service models. So I love stuff like this because this took a very hard problem and solved it like very eloquently. And the fact that this is an operator, right? So like you can change the references and it'll propagate out all the stuff. So you've got creates that one source of truth, which we like, right? Single source of truth.
Yes. Yeah. We love that. Yes.
We love that. Right. So you don't have a bunch of cascading changes. You can have a single source of truth. And because it sees the updates, it sees the changes and can take them and transform them live, then everything can kind of work together in that nice holistic GitOps way.
Yeah. And it removes like kind of like the need for me, like as an end user, to like worry about like where my secrets is coming from, right? Like I can just like now it's like now I'm just consuming them. Now I don't care like where that the security and all that stuff is being handled for me, and I'm just now using the platform, right? So this is great.
Yeah, I think like that's the business case, right? The business case for this, I think there's a lot of layers of business cases for stuff like this in both like that kind of that managed multi-tenancy situation that we're talking about, general multi-tenancy situations, but also just separating out development and developers from ops, right? Letting DevOps handle those pieces and just giving developers, here's what you need to know. And we've put it in a source of truth for you to know it, right? That not having to spend the mental cycles as a developer on that of, oh, I just need to pull these references from this repo and I'll have the things I need to get access to these dependencies, right? And then you don't have to worry about, do things expire? What if the secrets did get leaked and they all need to be updated, right? It's all handled for you through this model, and the fact that there's an operator in to kind of pick up all the changes and propagate them out, and you're just looking at references. And as long as the last step of what's being referenced is updated, then it all percolates back out. So like that is very, very nice from an ops factor of I don't have to go through a forensic review of everything that needs to be changed. It's very, very nice from a development factor of I don't need to know what's been changed unless the location of the secret gets changed in a way that impacts the way I'm referencing it. So I like it because one, it reduces the room for uncomfortable amounts of human error, and we know I don't like that. And two, I like things that free up my mental space. So we're getting into, it was bad with monoliths, but at least those were self-contained, right? Yeah. Now we have so many microservices and dependencies and all this other stuff that like anything that kind of frees up mental space to not have to worry about the little things, which is like secret quote unquote. The impact from such a small thing is so huge. But like anything that frees up that space in my head, I'm like, yes, I love it.
The what's really cool, like I'm always thinking about like, man, like I wish I had this before. Like it like things like a password rotation actually becomes like something that like an end user further down the line doesn't like a developer or like an SRE or DevOps, whatever, doesn't have to worry about like credential rotations because they just have the reference. As long as whatever the reference is pointing to, they don't care, right? It's kind of like, and now I'm kind of talking more about like, like I'm just kind of remembering back where we used to work together. Like just imagine like me trying to change the password to the database and like all the things we had to touch in order for that to happen. Like that's like that's a headache. Whereas like in this model, it's kind of cool because I can do that, right? Like as an admin, like I can go rotate the password, update the secret management system, and like everything should just work, right? Because you're referencing the secret. You don't have to make any changes in your application, right? You make zero change in your application, which is always great, especially when you're doing something like rotating passwords, right? It makes those kind of things effortless.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's especially when you're working, not old job, but like here, new job. Is it still new job if I've been here a couple of years? Whatever, new job.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
We're working in open source, right? So unfortunately, to err is human. We actually do have occasionally people end up committing passwords and secrets to Git repos, and they're public Git repos, right?
I've done it.
I have not done it to a public repo.
Oh, I've done it
Uh,
to a public repo.
I have not
Sad.
done it to a public repo yet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Time.
Touch wood. Yeah.
Time. Like, I'm not gonna sit here. I give it time. It'll happen. So anyway, I think we made the business case very clear. Obviously, setting up the fake was once I figured out the fact that I didn't configure the operator, which
Yeah.
good note for the future.
So yeah. So I wonder, and this is, I know we only have 15 minutes. I don't know if we will be able to hack at this, but like, I wonder what the time is between changing changing a secret and the secret being updated. I wonder what that time is, right? Like, I wonder.
So that should be defined in the operator reconcile loop.
Yeah.
Which is probably in here. And let's see, 5 minutes. It's probably faster than that. The reconcile loop would be a little bit. Search check 5 minutes.
Yeah. I just wonder what that is.
It's probably.
Yeah, I'm more of a try it and see type of guy. Like, I would like.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, can you change it and see what happens?
Yeah. We can do that. Hang on.
Let's see where. Okay, now find it.
I know, right? Okay, so what are we gonna change? Let's change
external secret, right? Yeah.
Yeah, example 2. YAML.
Oh no, isn't that external secret? Isn't that a cluster secret? No,
I need the other one.
Yeah.
No, I did it to both. Well, it still worked. It would still work because an external secret, even if it's namespace scope, should be able to reference the cluster secret. So it doesn't actually matter. But yes, when copy pasting, do try to make sure that you actually map the things correctly.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So that's the name. What am I looking at? Key foobar. So let's just change that to. That should work.
Yeah, foobar 2, save. And let's see if the secret gets updated. I wonder if it's like event driven, or if it's like a loop and you just kind of have to wait until that loop runs.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Here's a question: which one of those did I just update? I literally forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
And it got there, I don't know, before I found it.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So it's seconds, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it's well, and this is with the fake driver, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I wonder, so that makes sense because you're changing it on, it's an event that happened, right? Which then kicks off the update. I wonder, like, if you're using something like Vault or like AWS or whatever, I wonder changing it there, how long that might take some time, right? Right?
No, because I don't think it would, because it's not. Well, yeah, maybe. I don't think it would take that long, but I'm not sure how I'm not sure how often. Wait, that's the GoDaddy one. Let's look at the docs that we wanted here. I'm not sure how often it checks that.
Yeah, because that'd be.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah, because AWS. So like AWS secrets manager is like external to the cluster. So I wonder.
Yeah. I do wonder how long that would propagate. I don't think it would take long. I think we're still talking seconds.
Yeah. I wouldn't. Yeah, because so then like it just depends, right? And then I'm just like I guess the my point being is that that's just something you need to keep in mind, right? Like just that the change from like when you change it to how when it appears, because it looks like it does appear when you change it upstream, it does appear downstream. Um, uh, but like it does take time, right? And so I, just kind of keep that in mind if there is some sort of loop that happens. I'm sure it's like a loop, but I just don't know the time, right?
Yeah, so
Oh,
here's...
there we go. How do I debug? So that may...
Yeah. Trying to speed read here.
Yeah, speed read.
I know, right? Status conditions. Fortunately, that didn't really tell me. Can I manually trigger a secret refresh? The answer to that is yes, you can. Yeah, so I'm not sure how frequently that loop runs. I didn't see it in a high, like, quick speed read of stuff. If somebody knows that, share it with me.
Please let us know.
Yeah, please let us know. But I would expect it runs very frequently.
Very frequent, yeah.
That's
my expectation. Like I would expect it to run, and if it doesn't, I also expect it to be configurable. But I guess we need to further digging needs to be done.
Yeah, usually, I guess it depends. Some operators, I believe, do let you configure the reconcile loop frequency. And the reconcile loop is, for those who don't know, that's that process in the operator where it goes and it says, here are all the things I'm expecting to be true. And it will go check each individual one of those things and make sure that they are true. If the thing is not true, it will make it true.
Yes.
Right? So if you have, or you're expecting 2 deployments or like two pods in a replica set, and there's only one, right? It will spin back up the second one.
Another one. Yeah.
It'll do the things.
It'll do all the things. I think you once, I think during a talk, I think you once made a great analogy, since you have young kids, about "Are we there yet?" sort of thing. It's like, Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And it's, "Are we there yet?" Between the time between "Are we there yet?" that's the reconcile loop, right? Between one "Are we there yet?" versus the other, that's your reconcile loop. I know for Argo CD, the default time is 3 minutes, but that can be adjusted. So you can, like for Argo CD, you can say, instead of checking every 3 minutes, please check every 5 seconds. And the same is true for Flux, right? Flux does the same thing. So, but that has to be written in. To your point, Hilary, is like that has to be written in. So that's what we're unsure about. Is like if it's short and configurable, that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be the ideal.
The ideal situation. Yeah.
This is all of its resources. That's not what I want.
So for those of you out there who are writing operators, that is, if you want to make your users happy, make that configurable.
Yeah, I think it's 5 minutes.
Oh, 5 minutes. There it is, right? Requeue in 5 minutes. Okay.
And there was one other thing that was also 5 minutes down here somewhere. Somewhere. So it looks like 5 minutes. I mean, we could change that and see what happens.
Yeah.
Where did I go? What line was that?
I think it's like one of the first ones.
Yeah. I don't know. It might yell at me. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Load. Let's see what it did. Okay. Well, it left it there. It didn't. I didn't overwrite it back to 5 minutes. So nothing is controlling that part, from what I can tell. Here's what we need. We need the pod, and we need the operator. Ooh, I just did a thing. I don't actually know what it did, but it did a thing.
It did a thing, yes.
The UI refreshed. I'm not sure what changed, but it's different. Sample external secrets, operator controller manager. What am I looking at? Sample external secrets controller. I guess it's this one. Not knowing where the reconcile loop lives exactly.
Let's do something. Oh, injecting.
Yeah. I should expect to see that.
Well, updated webhook config. Interesting. Okay. It also may be a webhook. That'd be cool if it was a webhook, right? Like, so then like you could do it on demand before. So like if you can't change the reconciliation loop, like doing it on demand would be cool. Like a way to do it imperatively.
Yeah, I don't exactly. Yeah, this is getting down into the internal details of how exactly this executes, which I don't know. Further reading required.
Yeah.
But
homework.
what am I looking at?
Like sometimes we give homework. Yes.
Sometimes we give homework. Your homework is go tell me how this works. Did I literally just look at the same thing over again? Like I honestly can't remember.
Yeah.
Cert controller. That was that one. Secrets controller. I felt like I started at the bottom. I don't know what I did. Okay, cannot get data from external secret. Wait, what does it want? Okay.
Error, secret does not exist. Okay.
That seems reasonable. I'm sure there's a config guide in there somewhere.
Yes.
Yes, this looks like the reconcile loop.
Nice. Yeah, that's the watcher, right? The watcher guy.
So, but it's still, what you can see is that there is a misconfiguration in here, and it's still trying to redo it. It's checking it. What is it? Every few seconds. That's
every
refreshing.
few seconds. Yeah. So yeah, you may be right. It may be really relatively short because if it's checking like every couple seconds, yeah.
But I also told it to check every couple seconds, so it doesn't look like it was checking that often until around here. Looks like about my change.
Yeah.
So I think that did it. I think that did change the configuration. Not going to say for sure 100%, but that looks like the case.
Yeah, and also probably not necessarily we're recommending that. It's just that it's possible, right?
Yeah, every 5 seconds seems a little
excessive. Oof. Yeah.
We got a little bit of
you got throttling. You got throttling from the API server. Yeah, this is exactly, actually, it stole the words right out of my mouth because like you may get throttled by the API server if you're asking.
Yeah. So there it is though, but you can see it did it did do the thing that I asked it to do. Just don't ask it to do that because that's bad. But you maybe, and to be honest, how often do secrets change?
Not every 5 seconds. I would
not every 5 seconds, right? That was deliberately excessive.
Yeah, because deliberately excessive. Yeah.
And we were close to out of time.
Yeah.
Anyway, but nobody needs to know because this is not a managed cluster.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to delete it after this call. So after this,
we're going to go turn it off anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I got that email from I forget who, saying the holidays are coming. Remember to turn off all your servers. Yeah. I'm like, okay. Like yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So Tim sent out an email. Tim Kramer is like the head of engineering. I forget his exact title. And then somebody, one of the other like very senior management people, like not just sent an email, also created calendar events. And I was like, wow, that is very organized.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I don't have any clusters running, so I'm good. My holiday shutdown project is to put OpenShift on bare metal so I don't have to continue to set stuff up in the cloud every time I want to do a thing.
Awesome. There we go.
I've done it a few times locally. It's fine. I just actually need to give it. I think you have Intel NUX for that, right?
Yes. Yeah. And then it works pretty well. So
Yeah, I think I'm going to buy one and do the same. Or maybe.
cool. Oh,
I have this computer back here.
Yeah.
It's my friend's computer. They asked me to pull the stuff down off the hard drive so they could get rid of the computer, and then they were going to come pick it up. And they're like, just kidding, we moved. We don't have space for it. You can just have that. Thanks for the hard drive copy. And I was like, that thing is a beast. Do you see how
Yeah. You're propping up pictures on it.
I'm propping up pictures with it. It's just been making my life miserable. So this is like publicly shaming my friend right now. You know who you are. So
and then you don't need a space heater at that point.
And then I don't need a space heater. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So maybe I'll slide it under my desk and plug it in, and I have to it is an old Apple, old enough that I should be able to get Linux on it, although it would definitely be a little bit of a hack job because they don't like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very powerful machine, even today for being several years old. So we'll see. I'll update on that. Ask me if I actually do anything along those lines over the break when we come back next time.
Okay.
Speaking of when we come back next time, so this summarizes our GitOps Guide to the Galaxy journey for CY 2022.
Yes.
That's calendar year. So when we come back, starting off January, we are kicking off the year with managing your migrations with GitOps, and specifically talking about Conveyor. And we're going to be joined by one of my friends, a cloud success architect. God, I hope that's the correct job title. Christopher Newland. So he'll be joining us. He's also a Red Hatter, and he'll be going over some of the use cases and ways that he's actually done these migrations for customers and made them happy. So that is, I know that was requested specifically. Waleed actually, I think, had asked for Conveyor. So asked and answered. We'll kick off the new year with that, and then I think we'll continue on some of that trend coming in through the rest of that quarter. And then I have no idea what we're doing past that point, but we'll figure it out as we go.
Yes, we'll do it out, and then we're out, right? We're out until the new year. So
we're out until January 12th. Yeah.
It's been great. Thank you all for joining. It's thank you for taking the ride, this guide to the galaxy, right? On this ship that we call DevOps. And so yeah, I'm excited for 2023. I'm excited to be off, to be honest with you, for an extended, because I took some PTO around Red Hat shutdown, and so I have an extended time off. So it's gonna be fun.
I did not do that.
My project is I'm getting a new server, and so I'm gonna play around with that during the break. So it's gonna be cool.
What are you setting up?
What's that?
I said, what are you gonna set up?
I'm gonna set up. I bought a System 76, I guess desktop thingy, right? But I loaded it up, so it's gonna be. Hopefully, I'm replacing this vSphere. Old vSphere cluster that I have that is on its last legs. So
oh man. All right. Well, we'll look forward to updates about that later.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
All right. So that said, this concludes today's security and compliance training. It's not a security.
You are now security certified.
You now understand secret management tools. Congratulations. We will see you all in the new year, and remember, as per usual, choose your reconcile loop timing wisely, choose your technical debt wisely, and we'll catch you on the flip side.